Hey Eurovoxers, Andy, Sanya and Jess, and we are back for another edition of, I forgot to say Bok. Right, let's try again.
Bok.
Bok. Bok, Eurovoxers, Andy, Sanya and Jess, and we are back for another edition of Eurovision First versus Last. It's time for Hrvatska! Woo!
Woo!
So there have been many Croatian entries throughout the years, but the first time Croatia participated as an independent nation was in 1993 with the song Don't Ever Cry by group Put. I think I got that right.
Put, yeah.
Put.
A little bit longer with you, Put.
By the end of this video, I'm going to be fluent in Croatian. And then this year, 2018, it was the beautiful Franka with Crazy. But we're going to talk first about Group Put with Don't Ever Cry. Jess, first of all, your thoughts on this entry?
I really like Croatia's debut entry. To me, it kind of sounds a little bit like a lullaby. I don't know if anyone else gets that, especially in the chorus. It just sounds like something that you would kind of sing to try and send someone to sleep. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I really like the song. It's like a, it's a sweet kind of, a little sweet melody is how I see it. And so song-wise, I think it was a very strong effort from Croatia. But the outfits, though, I mean, I know it was the 90s, but I was not feeling the outfits at all. To me, they look like nuns with crazy hairstyles.
I think Croatia were finding their way in the world of fashion in 1993.
But our fashion usually in Eurovision is, I don't know what happens. But this year Franka was beautiful in that dress, but usually, I don't know what's with our outfit in Eurovision.
So, Sanya, this song obviously was Croatia's first entry as an independent nation. How is the song held kind of to Croatian people for being the first Eurovision song?
I think back then it was a very important song in the meaning of emotion of Croatian people back then, because it was a war year here in Croatia, and the song was promoting peace and hope for Croatian people. And I think the song back then meant a lot to our people in Croatia, and I really like the message of the song, because in Croatia and Serbia and all war countries back then, there were many songs promoting war itself, not peace. And I think this song with this message, Don't Ever Cry, Croatian Sky, and in the Croatian part with Mir daj nam ti, like give us a peace, sky of love. So I really like the message back then, and I know many people have cried to this song because it was really emotional song. And for me also, the song have, as you said, just a lullaby vibe, but also I don't know, a soundtrack of some, I would say, cartoon with a happy end. It sounds to me like that. Yeah.
Yeah, this was 93 was the first Eurovision I ever saw. I was a young boy, never heard of Eurovision. And this was one of the songs actually that year that stood out for me. And, we can be honest about it. There was lots of troubles in that part of the world that year. And to have Slovenia, Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina kind of putting themselves on a European or a worldwide stage as independent nations, I think is quite touching when you watch back and you think of what they were going through at that time, but then they come out and they do these performances of these songs. But in terms of the performance, I remember you kind of had these 6 vocalists who have all got very beautiful voices, and their voices go so well together. They're singing this, what you've both said is like a lullaby type song. It kind of gives you goosebumps. It's a little bit choral as well. But it's the message, and it's the message of this song that gets me every time. So this was always a standout for me, a beautiful entry, and it's nice to hear that it's a song that means a lot to the Croatian people, and quite rightly so. But let's come forward 25 years actually, isn't it? To 2018.
Yeah. 25 years.
That's showing my age again. But 2018 and the beautiful Franka this year in Portugal, and she didn't qualify. But Sanja, tell us your thoughts on the Croatian song this year.
I was so sad for her not to qualify because I think she really deserved it, but we all know how tough was that first semi-final this year. But to be honest, the song for me is, I don't know, it's quite average. It starts strong, the verses are strong, and you wait for something to happen the whole time, but the chorus is not strong enough for me to stand out between those other really strong songs in this first semi. So the song itself, I like it. It's kind of dark and mystical. It's like if the first one was like a cartoon soundtrack, this one is like, I don't know, 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. And it sounds to me kind of, people in Croatia were talking that it sounds like a mix of, I don't know, Beyonce and Lady Gaga. So it's a good song, but still not. It couldn't have a chance to stand out between those other strong songs. But her performance, I like her performance a lot. Her dress was wow, magical, and she sang very well. But the song, I think, let her down. I don't know.
So Jess, let's go to you. Franka this year, crazy. Obviously, we saw it live in Lisbon, but what were your thoughts on the song?
So I do have to agree with Sanja a little bit when she says the song is average. Personally, I think that Franka herself, is better than the song, and I feel like, she could have gone with a much stronger song than Crazy, and so for me it was a bit of a letdown. I mean, I thought her vocal performance was very well, and the way she delivered the song on stage was really good. And I actually kind of was hoping that she would qualify just because she performed it so well out of all of the first semi-finalists. In my opinion, one of the best performances. But, like Sanja said, semi-final 1 was a tough semi, and it was very difficult for a song like that to stand out. If it had a bit more power to it, or if it had gone somewhere, it could have been a really, really good entry. But I feel with the way that it is, it's just a bit average. Yeah, I like it though, but it's not one of my favourites, and yeah.
Yeah, you said it needed more power. I don't think Franka herself could have given that song any more than she gave it. I remember seeing the rehearsals in Lisbon. She came out and she did this amazing vocal, and everyone was talking about her and the vocal performance that she gave. I do agree on the song. I remember hearing the teaser that was released before they released the full song. It sounded so modern and edgy, but when you listen to the whole song, for me it didn't really go. It didn't really go anywhere. I think just on her vocals alone, it was still not good enough to qualify. But I have to say, she is an amazing performer. Really, really nice woman to talk to. Sanja, she's quite a big star in Croatia, isn't she? She's a big deal.
She's a big star. She was a big star a couple of years ago, but then she went for a couple of years. She stopped recording, but now she came back.
I would love to see her come back to Eurovision with a different song.
Me too, yeah, because it was her dream since childhood, and you could see on a stage that she felt every moment of it. She lived for it. So yes, as you said, Jess, I hope she comes back with a better song, because she couldn't do better herself. She did everything she could, and no one blamed her. In Croatia, we are usually very critical about Eurovision, about our Eurovision interests, but as I've read the comments, no one really blamed her for not qualifying this year, because she did her best.
Yeah. No, she was a superstar in my eyes as well. I'd love to see her back. Maybe she could try Jacques Houdek and do a duet with herself. That would be interesting. But girls, if you had to pick first versus last, so 93 versus 2018, Put versus Franka, which one are you going for? Jess, come to you first.
This is a tough one, actually. I think, so based on my favourite, I guess I would go with 93 and Put.
Okay. Sanja?
I'll have to agree on this one. Yeah, also Put 93.
It might shock you, but I'm also going to go with 1993. I think it was such a beautiful song, a song that I've always enjoyed listening to. Really nice message. Really happy to see Croatia in the contest that year. So I think this is the first time we've all agreed on a song. But Franka was a superstar, but we have gone for Put from 1993. But that's just what we think, guys. Don't forget to let us know in the comments what you think. Would you go for 93 or would you go for 2018? Was Franka robbed this year? Don't forget to let us know. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and find us on Instagram. And until next time, see ya.
Bye.